Okay, guys, I got a good one for you. I really want you to think about this. Would you rather eat? What's the worst thing you could think of you would have to eat? That's like gross, like a maggot or
Yeah.
or something like that. Okay. Would you rather eat a maggot or not listen to music for a year?
Oh, I'd eat a maggot.
So you can eat the maggot and listen to the music, or you can not eat the maggot and you can't hear any music for a year.
I would eat the maggot.
Yeah, I'd definitely eat a maggot because I can't go a day without music. It drives me nuts.
And see, ladies and gentlemen, my classy move here. That is why I got these guys here. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Pop Culture Palace for another edition of Rockers, Freaks, and Geeks. I'm Brett the Tank Downey here in beautiful Western Maryland, bringing you this lovely interview podcast, whatever you want to call it, in fabulous fashion, too. Let me tell you, it's just like state of the art, ladies and gentlemen, state of the art. But really got an interesting conversation we're going to have today. I have with me the one and only Western Maryland dancing girls, the two dancing girls. They are here. And they're going to talk to me about music, local bands, being a mother-daughter, and all that good stuff. So I thought this would be an interesting thing to do. And I thought, show them how much everybody in the music community really appreciates them and all their support all the time. So, I want to have music people in here, but I also want to have a little bit of everybody. So you're going to see a little bit of everything as this thing goes along. So, let me get the guys in the shot. Are we all in here? Let's.
There we go.
Here we go.
We're in.
Hey, it is. Noel. I said it right. Okay, and they are the two dancing girls, known here locally for going to all the different rock shows. And I wanted to have them on and us have a good conversation about local bands and all that kind of good stuff and a little bit of everything. I got some cool stuff here to talk to you about. And I think you guys that watch this will find it very interesting here at the Pop Culture Palace. I'm sure we'll see appearances by Cats. Tori's on the table right now. So we'll get things going. So the very first thing I want you guys to do, if you don't mind, is tell everybody a little bit about yourself, because everybody sees you guys all the time. And you're out, supporting, either jamming or dancing or doing both. And probably a lot of us don't know a damn thing about you. Like, I didn't know where you worked till today when I asked Noel, and you don't have to get personal like that, because Lord knows there might be some weirdo who will come show up and be like, hey, I seen you on that video, baby, So, but whatever you want to share, whichever one of you guys want to go first, tell a little bit about yourself so everybody can get to know you a little bit better.
Everybody usually calls me Danny because it's just easier.
Danny, so like Game of Thrones.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
And I got a birthday coming up. I'll be 50.
50.
Nobody realizes that because of how crazy and energetic I am. My two favorite pastimes.
I know. I wish I had your energy.
My two favorite pastimes besides music is bird watching and paint by numbers.
You watch birds. You got the little binoculars and all
I do.
Man, that's too cool. Like, I've seen people about it on TV, but I've never talked to somebody to watch them. So you can actually say, well, that's a blue-tailed, pollywalker or what.
I drive my kids nuts with it. Oh, yeah. They hate it.
Do you go out in the woods and
do it
and stuff like that?
Oh yeah.
And that's awesome. I mean, get some exercise too. And I love all animals, so that's really cool to me. And paint by numbers. So I like to paint. Now I've been trying to do the Bob Ross thing. I haven't done it in several months because of just so much going on. But I like to. I love art myself. If you see, I share. I have a couple of different groups I'm in. I share a lot of art, especially like comic art
That's
and that.
cool.
So
That is very cool.
yes, it is.
What you, chicken pants?
I'm Noel, and I love animals, and I love to crochet, and I love to read.
Crochet. What do
Yep.
you crochet?
Blankets, skirts, sweaters, hats, scarves, pretty much anything.
Awesome. My wife does cross stitch. And there's different ones throughout the house that she's done. She's gotten really good at it. But that's awesome. I think that's very relaxing too, because
It is.
I think that's where she gets in her zen place to chill out. What do you like to read?
I like to read mystery books, and I like adventure books.
Mm-hmm. You like any like we're real into sci-fi and that kind of stuff? You like any of that kind of stuff?
I like the Red Rising series. It's really good. Somebody I work with showed me that, and I love like Nancy Drew books, and I love.
Oh, Nancy Drew. Yeah, I used to read the Hardy Boys when I was young.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. We're big Hunter and I are big Tolkien fans, so that's what's right up my alley. But I like autobiographies and stuff like that. Reading about people. I like reading about people that's achieved stuff in life because it inspires me, and it also shows that even the best people have their ups and downs and go through things and all that. And I think a lot of people just think people have success and it's just right there and everything's easy for them, and it really isn't. So, anything else like favorite ice cream, favorite food, favorite color?
My favorite cookie is oatmeal raisin.
Oatmeal raisin. That was my dad's favorite. Yeah, he loved them. God love him. So that is awesome. So we know a little bit about the hobbies of the two dancing girls now, and the cookie. So that's a real cool thing. So talk a little bit now about your support of local music and where that's come from you guys, and how you actually got into coming out and hearing all the bands playing all that all the time.
Mine started when I was in high school. A band called Appalachia came to our high school.
Oh, man,
and they let me carry their stuff for them.
Rocket was awesome on guitar.
That's when I met
him. Did he do the talk box? Oh my God, what a guitar player!
That's when
what a guitar player.
They let me carry their stuff for them, and I just got addicted from there. And then I started, just following different bands as I got older, and I started realizing, okay, these guys have day jobs and families and all the same issues that I have to deal with, but they still take the time to practice, to learn new things, learn new music, and take the time to set up these festivals and these benefits, and take the time to load all the equipment in and set it all up, play the whole show, and then stay and tear it all down. I'm like, we have got to give some appreciation to these people. So that's why awesome. I continue to go out, because you guys have the same daily lives that we do. And all the big bands started as a local band.
Yeah. And I think that's one thing that gets lost a lot of times. A lot of people don't. They don't know all that stuff that goes behind the scene to me. I always think that when people come up and ask, to do a song, and there's probably only maybe 10% of the musicians in our world that could just, I know that and play, because most of us guys are weekend warriors. We got to know it and practice it and all that, and it's just like, I just think a lot of people think you're out to make a musician, you'll be able to play anything, and it's just not the case. You gotta. You're right. There's just so much behind the scene,
and y'all do not get paid enough. Not nearly. I've run door too, and you guys do not get paid enough for all the work that goes into it.
Yeah, that's my favorite saying is I've spent 10 times more money on it than I have gotten back doing it. But that's for sure. You have anything you want to know?
She's had music playing every day of my life, all the time. So she started going out, and when I turned 21, I went out. She would take me to like the outdoor shows when I was little, and I just fell in love with it. And I'm like, I can't not do this.
A question that's not on one. Do most people know your mother and daughter without?
No.
They probably just think you're buddies or something. Yeah.
No, they come up and ask, "Are you sisters? Are you mother-daughter? Are you friends?"
Yeah.
Yeah, I imagine you get that a lot. But I thought that would be a cool thing to ask you because I wondered that myself because I'm sure you've gotten some strange.
Oh yeah.
uh, so that that kind of explains my next question was because how you got your love for live music on the local level, and you explained that
Mhm.
with in high school. What are your favorite like big time artists like who's in your CD player right now? That sort of question. What do you guys listen to? Like who like if somebody said, okay, who's your favorite band?
There are too many. There are too many. I mean, I love.
That's such a hard question, isn't it?
Yeah, I love Fall Out Boy and I love Metallica, but at the same time, I like jazz and I like blues, and I listen to pretty much anything, and I love Christian music as well. So I
Mhm.
got some Skillet in there too.
Yeah, yeah. I also like classical music and
Mhm.
and I like jazz as well. And of course, like I told you when we were talking on Messenger, I am a retired youth minister, so I sang in choirs and all growing up. I was in musicals and all growing up. So I'm the same way. I like a little bit of everything.
We do the worship band at
Yeah.
church.
Oh, cool. What do you actually play anything?
I play drums.
I run the soundboard.
Awesome. Well, that is cool. So you guys are, really musicians too. So that's awesome because you got the perspective that a lot of people don't, which is really cool. Really cool. Uh, so it's just like you like a little bit of everything. It's so hard to name an artist. I know, I'm the same way. Danielle, is there anything you can remember of how you got Noel into music? Like, is there any particular story or like where
That's how I used to get my kids to sleep.
uh,
I would put them on my shoulder and I would put the stack of records on the record player and I would dance them around the living room until they went to sleep. And that's how they got their naps.
that's awesome. Yeah, because I guess hearing, and that's what they all say. If your kid hears noise and all that, then things won't wake them up as easy. So,
And then as they got older, my mom had the jukebox that had the disco lights in it, the 8-track player and all that cool stuff in there. And it had the light, and they loved it. So as they started walking, they would just walk up to it and just stand there and listen to it. So I was like, I love my kids.
What's your earliest memory of that? Do you have any?
Dancing around the living room with like the whole family. They just put on a stack of records or put in a CD, and we just dance around the entire living room, and it was a lot of fun and a lot of good memories.
Yeah, I was the same way. My dad was a big he liked all the old country. He was a big Johnny Cash fan, a lot, and he had a record player like that. You could put a stack on and just let them go. And he used to put all the old country stuff on. And we had like a record room in our basement. And we would all shoot pool and stuff like that. So I can definitely relate to that. But that's really cool because you get that instilled in you at a young age, an appreciation for any of the arts. I'm a big supporter of any of the arts, painting, whatever. But you get that in with you young, and it just seems like it just sticks.
We would play anything from Beethoven to frickin' jazz to pop. You name it, we played it. We even played some death metal.
I've listened to my share of that as well. Like the music, but I'll be damned if I can tell you what they're saying. Okay, let me see here. What else I got? Okay, so you touched a little bit on how did going to local bands start together? Like, did you say to your one when she turned 21, or was like on her birthday, said, okay, we're going to go see a band? Or like, do you remember how that started, how these guys started going?
I used to drag them out to the outdoor shows because I used to roadie for the local bands.
Who'd you roadie for?
Criminy, Heart and Soul, Rock Bottom, 40 West,
Wildfire.
No kidding.
You don't even. Heart and Soul was 10 years. I roadied for them, and they would just
they were around for a while.
When we had outdoor shows, I would just drag the kids with me, and then whenever she turned 21, she's like, "Well, I'm old enough to go out now."
Yeah.
So we just started going out together.
and then you became, unbeknownst to you, the two dancing girls.
Yeah.
I had
You
no
know.
idea. That is very cool.
Now, here's an interesting question, because this, I think, is probably difficult to some to people that are big fans of music. Like I was talking to you about poor Bob Morgan, and he's always trying to decide where he's going. So you see all the shows online posted, everybody's wearing that. How do you decide? Because you show up everywhere a little bit, you go see. How do you decide who you're going to go see on the weekend?
Who we've seen the most recently, we'll see the other band, or who's going to, okay, this one's going to play next week too, so we'll hear this one this week and that one next week.
Yeah.
Or sometimes it comes down to literally flipping a coin.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, we want to hear these guys, but we want to hear these guys. Oh crap, flip a coin. Wherever it lands, that's where we end
Because
up.
I've wondered about that, about people going out, and it's just such a shame not more people do. And it's like you got to crawl and scratch and do whatever to get them to come out. But yeah, so I bet they can be challenging, especially when you seem to like everybody like you guys do. So let's see what my next question is. What made you guys, when it started going out together, what made you guys always go up front and be up front and dancing almost the whole damn time? I mean, you probably don't have to worry about what you eat, because you go all out on the weekend. You make me tired just watching you. But I will tell you, when you guys, I see you at a show, it just like immediately makes my night. I say, oh, it's gonna be a cool night because the two dancing girls are here. So, but you started to say
it's her. When I first started coming out, very much the introvert, so I would like try to hide, and she was like, "Come on, it's fun. It's just like dancing in the living room." I'm like, "No, it's not." So she'd pull me up on the floor, and as we got going, I just started going up anyway, and I was like, "You know what? This is more fun up here than sitting at the table."
Yeah. I know my wife is a massive introvert as well, and I've yet to even get her to slow dance with me.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and so it's definitely a challenge. So kudos to you for getting the courage to go up there and do it. Because I know, man, people just do not know how much that means to you when you're a musician if you have people up and right there into it,
See, the reason I go right front is because I can feel it.
Yeah.
I can feel the beat better, and I get direct access to the band, and I can feed off their energy, and they can feed off mine.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I wish more people felt like, I mean, sometimes I'm like begging, please everybody, come up front, and it's like talking to the wall, So, but yeah, I think it's really cool you guys do that. It's a great example to people, of, the most awesome way you can show your support. Of everything you hear live, do you have a favorite style you like to hear?
My favorite one to dance to is funk. I really love to dance to funk. I don't know why.
No, well, they got good stuff, got that good groove and all that, George Clinton type stuff, and
Oh yeah.
I usually like rock. A lot of jumping, a lot of ways to get out emotions that you don't want to deal with.
I was watching a little clip. I don't know if I shared it or not. Dave Draymond from Disturbed and he was talking about that exact same thing. It's like you got to forget all your crap going on in your life and all the week, and just be there and let it all come out of you. So, and I think it works great, and I think it helps so many people doing that. Getting it out.
It gets rid of the whole week.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
It's awesome.
Yep. Have you guys been to many like big concerts, like out of town at an arena or anything? And if so, do you have a favorite one, or people you like to see live? Or
well, we went to see Def Leppard and
Poison.
all the
Motley
Crue and Joan Jett. We went to see that one. That was a lot of fun. And
were they all good that day, or
Yes.
because I know Motley was having some issues.
It was an incredible experience. It really was. But we've also seen Weird Al.
Yes.
And we've also seen Journey.
Yeah.
And like newer journey with the
Yeah.
with the new
Mhm,
guy.
mhm.
You almost don't miss Steve Perry, almost, but nobody really touches him. So.
Yeah.
But my very first concert was Joan Jett here in the fairgrounds.
Fairgrounds, yeah. Did you used to go see Kicks a lot back in the day?
Oh goodness.
Yeah.
Who
I
didn't?
really wanted to go. I really wanted to go to this last concert they had. It was their last one around here, but I couldn't get anybody to go, and I have to use a chair, and it's just be so much of a pain in the ass trying to get me to and fro and everything. And I didn't want to ask my wife or son to do it, but I missed out. But it's all good. I've seen them plenty of times back in the day. So, so you have you been to many like
No,
big
just-
shows?
No, just a couple.
Just a few. The ones we usually go, the ones we love the most is Rock the Mountains,
Yeah.
and the look because it's you get so
you,
many
you
bands.
Get, you get both. You know,
Yeah,
you
you
get
get
the
the-
big experience in that. You know, everyone really every year it's been those guys that are running it. You know, and I know them all very well. Jimmy in particular. You know, I still call him my nephew. He was my Jimmy is my Hunter's mom's nephew. So I watched him grow up. So very proud what he's done leading the charge for that. It's been amazing, and I've been glad we've been a part of every year. The only thing I don't like is the heat.
Yeah. Oh, you ain't kidding.
but because I know this year I think I was like this close to having heat stroke.
that heat about killed me this year.
Yeah, it was crazy. When I got out of there, I got in my car, I got in air conditioning, and I just like sat there.
I don't blame you.
Hey, interesting. Do you have a favorite song to hear live, and what's your least favorite song to hear live? Oh, you look at her like you was talking about this.
We were just talking
Yeah.
about this the other day. My least favorite song. I refuse to even get up and dance to it. And that's that stupid Man in the Box.
Oh my God, we play it too
I
because
am-
we get requested it all.
I won't even get up. As soon as the band starts, the first three notes, I sit down and I'm like, nope, I'm not doing it. I'm not. I play it again.
You know what? I will dedicate that to you every time we do it now. If you come out, but that's
My favorite
that's
one
great.
to dance to live is I can't remember which one of the bands does it. Shut Up and Dance to Me. Dance with me.
Drunk After Midnight or Let's Go. They do that one.
I
I
love
know
it.
Rev did it for a while.
Shut up and dance. Who does that?
Oh.
Walk
Walk
the Moon.
something like that.
It's a newer song.
Yeah.
I have to hear it.
It's
I'm horrible in a lot of the newer stuff. So, is it a rock song or?
No, it's
Pop.
more of a pop song.
Yeah, it's kind of pop.
Huh.
It's fun though. It is a really fun song.
I'll have to check that out. I DJ on the side, so I get the weddings and everybody else wants to hear like what's that slide thing called?
Oh,
or
cha-cha
yeah,
slide.
and all them. So it's like I go through all them all the time when I'm on Hunter and I do weddings together.
You have a favorite one?
No. I just like to dance to it.
Hey, nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Okay, now this is going to be a tough one, and you don't have to answer it if you don't want to. Yeah, I see you're trying to look. I see you.
I'm not
Do-
thinking.
Do you have a favorite local band or musician? And no, you don't. You don't have to say anything about me. I'm not here because I certainly know I'm not the best thing around.
I don't know that I can pick a favorite because each band I like for specific reasons.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody's different.
Because with you guys, it's all hair metal.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So it's like I really get my 80s on. And then with Tariffs, they have a lot of the originals. I love
Yeah.
their Anger Box. They get my anger out. I can really rock
Did
hard.
you ever see me when I fronted Anger Box?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, we
That's
did
the first time I ever heard Anger Box.
Did a
You
New
were
Year's
fronting it.
Eve show.
Mm-hmm.
We actually ran doors.
I got trashed at that.
Yes, you did.
I had Lord knows how much whiskey and beer, and then they busted out the champagne at midnight, and I drank like 2.5 bottles. And my wife was trying to get me out there, and I'm up there talking to some random guy. We're sitting in chairs all back like this, and just talking about
I remember that.
everything.
We
And
ran door at that show.
no way, you were there. Yeah.
Yes, we were.
So I had, man, some of the best times I had was I loved playing with them guys, and I hated to leave them when I did, because I I needed to have that leg operation, and it obviously didn't help me the way I wanted it to. And I didn't want to hold them guys back. And I'm really proud of. I'm having one. I had Nick on here and Jimmy at some point. But I want to have Nick on here at some point because I think there's always been this misconception that me and him have some kind of, and it's not that way at all, man. We had only first met a couple, well, since the start of this band, and yeah, we get along great. We like a lot of the same stuff. You know, I want to have them on so people see that. You know,
that's cool
because I think it's cool for people to see it. But I definitely miss, yeah. But I'm more old school than now. There's some new bands that I really like. I touched on that on the last video, but I like the old, like you said, the hair stuff. And
each band I go out to for a specific reason, and I like them for that music, or I like them for this one. I like because the one who fronts it is a complete insane lunatic and likes to climb speakers, and then we got one who just jumps all over the place. So
I think I'm me sitting on my ass. But back in the day when I was up,
yours is the vocals. No one can touch Dio the way you do, and I'm in shock every time.
That used to be my number one most requested song through the years in other bands, and it's Ryan James Dio. I could never even do him justice. I try to, but now the most requested thing we get is a Stillborn by Black Label Society, which is one of the newer songs we play.
Yeah.
But we got some new stuff coming up since we got our new guitar player and all that, so I'm looking forward to it. So. Okay, so like I said, that was a tough question. How do you name your favorite? Because every is different. Do you have a favorite club that you just go to out of all of them?
Honestly, no offense to Jimmy Lashball, I love Lashballs, both of them, but ODC.
Yeah.
Because of the space.
Yeah, there's
so much
like
room.
the upstairs.
Yes, there's so much space to get around, and
yeah, I like there, and I like West, both. They're kind of a little different vibe, but not really. But yeah, I enjoy playing both those places.
Yeah, Outdoor Club has the most dance space, and I think that's why I like it so much, because I have more room.
Yeah, it is a big room. Yeah, I'm doing that Booze and Brews again there.
Yes. Oh, I've already got tickets.
So we're there Saturday because it's 2 day now. We're there Saturday night. So, well, that's cool. I think a lot of people. I remember back in the day, you'd ask somebody that question. It used to always be, over there. What it was legs, but Weekenders, yes.
I used to love that
Thank you.
place.
My brains.
I used to love there.
Yeah, I liked it when it was the other place originally, way back in the day, and they would bring bands in from out of town and stuff. And they had the heavy metal thing on the wall. I really liked back old school when it back in the day, because they used to have on the weekends on a matinee thing on Saturday where the bands would play that were out of town, and then it would be kind of like a warm up for them for that night and everything, and it was for teens and stuff. So I used to go do that when I was younger, and it was always a good time. Okay. And I don't know this question because I don't watch this close enough to know it. Do you drink? And if so, what do you like to drink?
Once in a while we do. Once in a
while.
I used to drink like every weekend, but once in a while it's mine's amaretto and orange juice.
I like slow gin and Coke.
Oh, I was a big gin guy back in college. Gin and tequila.
To kill you.
Yeah, definitely tequila. But I've been sober now for 4 years. So and it wasn't that I had anything against it. When I found out I had AFib, because it just makes my AFib go crazy, and heart disease runs rampant in my family. So I got to watch my ticker. So yeah, that's kind of when I'd stopped. So, but you know, like me, I'm always I'll bring up. I'm sure you see me. I bring that big thing, and I make just that Walmart stuff that you put in the water bottles, but it's the big one for the
Oh,
pitcher.
okay, yeah.
And I'll make it, and that's what I'm having 90% of the time when you see me. Or if the place will let you have like diet drinks on the house, then I'll get
We
that.
usually do Pepsi.
Yeah.
We're hopped up on caffeine and weirdness.
Yeah.
Well, it's just so you got to worry about getting pulled over, and
Yeah,
you don't want to hurt anybody else and all that. So I don't know. This may have answered this question because this is the only selfish question I have on here. When do you remember seeing me the first time? Because I've been in so damn many bands throughout the years, and this would probably be something you would remember. When do you remember seeing me?
Anger Box.
And you, so you
That was the first time. Yeah.
Didn't you used to play in heavy set?
Yes,
That's
I was in the first version,
heavy
and
set.
then I started having high blood pressure problems.
Mhm.
Stopped, so I got that straightened out. D took over, and then it went kaput for a while, and then Tim and I started it back up with the Robinette twins, and it was like the 2.0 or whatever, 3.0. But we did that, and I was doing that when I was in Anger Box at the same time. And that was like crazy because of scheduling and all that. I was doing both of them at the same time. But yeah, I just wondered about that when what you remembered about the first
heavy set. I used to go out to hear you guys all the time.
It stinks because I meet so many people, and I don't like. I have no memory of seeing you out there, and it's just it ain't that
It's just
you're not a special person or anything.
You see so many people when you're in a band. You meet so many people, and you can't keep them all straight.
Yeah. Well, like now, I mean, since we did this, and since I've been watching you guys dance in front of us every 4 weeks or so, I'm like, and the thing about us, we're only doing 2 shows a month because everybody just wants a weekend off and wants a weekend to practice. So, let's see here. What do I got next? Do you have a favorite show locally that you guys have went to that sticks in your mind? It's like that was like one of the best shows I've ever seen. Like local band or whatever it's been. It can be if you went to the college and seen a jazz band or whatever.
That's a tough one.
That is a tough question, isn't it?
That's hard.
Every band has had one show that's been awesome.
Oh, yeah, it's just so much good talent around here.
There was one. It was a Rev show that they did. I think it was at Outdoor Club, and it was just one of those nights when everything went off without a hitch, and there was no technical difficulties. There was no, it was just wonderful, and everybody was hyped up, and Jimmy B was climbing speakers.
Was Steve in the band then, or?
Yes, Steve was back there doing his animal thing, and it was just one of those nights. It was just perfect.
Well, Jimmy's such a great front man too, and definitely kudos to him. He also has to put a good show and get the crowd involved. So, you have anything before I go on?
It's too hard to really tell. There's been a lot of really good shows.
Question for you, mother dear. Did your parents like music and get you into it, or how? Oh, is this a touchy area? Or?
No, it's
we
funny.
talk about it all the time.
Okay, let's hear it.
My mom followed Chinese Bandits, and she would drag me to the Chinese Bandits show, and then I followed bands and drug her and my son with me. So it's kind of like 3 generations of following bands.
Gotcha. Well, that's really cool that she did that.
My mom was the same way with the music. Every single day there was a stack of music on every day.
Well, that's cool. Yeah, them old record players. I wish I still had. I only know what happened to my dad's. Probably when we got rid of everything in the house it went. But this is a little more serious question, and I think it's good for people to hear stuff like this because when you have a good relationship, parent-child, I think it's just like the best thing ever. So I was hoping you guys could talk about your relationship and how good it must be to hang out together and and do things together all the time. And uh, what's that like for you guys? Can you like really sum it up or anything? Or
Well, since she's such a wacko, like the entirety of my life, she's just been entertaining, and she's been crazy and nuts, and there was never a dull moment. So, growing up that way, and then going into adulthood, where you just become friends, it's continued, and it's just a lot of fun. And she's always there, no matter what.
yeah,
So it's great.
yeah, it is, man. It is. Yeah. When you have a good relationship with your kid, it's the best. And I hear people all the time say about that, especially fathers, that they don't do anything, and I can't imagine not wanting to do anything for your kid.
Well,
Just can't imagine.
she tells people all the time that I was like the most open, comfortable parent ever because when I would make a mistake, and we all do, I
Right,
messed
yeah,
up.
right,
We all
right,
mess
right.
up as parents. I would tell them, okay, listen, I mess up, and I was very honest about it. And we've always been very open. They can share anything with me. I can share anything with them.
Yeah, and when you're
And I
like
exposed
that,
them to like everything and let them make their own choice. And I didn't demand you do this or that or the other thing. I just let them pick.
and when you're like that too, and you've been through a lot, because I've been through a lot too,
Oh yeah.
you can really say, "Hey, I did like this same thing, and I screwed up.
Oh,
You don't want to do this and that, you know." And sometimes they still got to find it out for themselves.
They still do. Trust
Yeah.
me. They still do.
But it's just because I think people that see you guys and then once they find out that you're mother daughter and all that, uh, I think they probably think that's pretty awesome. That you guys can not only have the parent child relationship, but like your best friends as well. Which I'm the same way with my boy.
We did have to go through a transition because we lived together, and at one point we worked together, and we were going out together.
It sounds like me and my wife.
And the funny thing was, where we worked, she was my boss.
Yeah.
So at
Oh,
home, I
that's
was the
crazy.
boss, and at work, she was the boss. So we had to go through like a transition period of where we're like, okay, we've spent too much time together.
Yeah.
We need to get away from each other for a minute. But there was where I had to listen to her at work, and then she had to listen to me at home.
Mhm.
So we had to find a balance.
Right.
And once we got the balance down, it's been
I
great.
love your jewelry, man.
Thank you.
You always wear the coolest stuff. I want to steal that. I got these bracelets on that are supposed to. They're made of titanium, and they're supposed to help your blood flow through your body and your lymph fluid get out. And because I had lymphedema, so yeah, so I'm sporting something really fancy. Let's see here. What would you guys change about the local music / club scene ever? Is there anything you think about and man, I wish they would do this or that's kind of a hard one
Yeah.
because I mean most time things are pretty good, but
Yeah, this area is pretty well set up for bands, but
Yeah.
there's times when we've thought, why didn't you guys like give us more parking or
Yeah.
something?
parking's usually
Parking
a big
is
issue for a
yes.
lot of places. That's another reason a lot of people like the ODCs, all the parking.
There's a lot of parking.
Yeah, but yeah, that is challenging. I mean, I think there's always ways you can make things better.
You can think of it.
Not really.
I know I've really been happy, at least band wise, in the past few years. Everybody's been supporting each other a lot more, sharing each other's shows online and everything.
Yes.
Yeah.
Now, there's some people that won't share somebody else's show if you paid them to do it, but a lot of us do that, and I think that's really cool that everybody's really started to.
that is one thing that has changed.
Mhm.
Years ago, back when I was running
It
with
used to be
Heart and
dog eat
Soul,
dog.
the bands would fight each other, and it was
Mhm.
ridiculous.
Mhm.
So
Yep.
they finally started to get along and really
Yeah.
care for each other, which is great.
And that's what gets me because I get a rep sometimes of I don't know being a hard ass or something. I don't understand, but it's like I think I'm the easiest guy in the world to get along with. Is do your stuff right and don't be an ass. It's
Right.
it's like
You have a job to do. Do it.
do it. But yeah, but that's definitely something to think about that I could stew on too. What would be if if you guys watch this, comment below. What do you think would be a thing that could be changed about the local scene to make it better. Lucas is making his appearance, buddy.
It's the parking, isn't it? That's the biggest
the
problem.
parking.
The parking.
Is that what you think, Lucas? Okay. Is there any local? This is a good one. Is there any local bands that you think has a legit shot of going big time?
Yes. There's one that comes in. They're not local. They're from like PA, I think.
Mhm.
Sweet Desire.
Yeah. Oh
So
yeah.
what they
Yeah.
are.
Yeah. Young guys, good-looking guys, good
Yes.
at what they do.
Angerbox with their originals. Tariffs with their originals. I think
The plan is for us, if it all works out and our new guitar player works out, which I think he's going to, we're going to record some stuff this January, February. So we'll be out in the mix too.
sweet.
Good.
I got tons of boatloads of material written. But
I think Shadowburn might. I mean, if they could find that niche, if they could get that niche.
I love Nikki to death, you know.
I think they could really.
And
hit
we've
it.
had some, you know, I mean, you look at what Dean's done, you know, playing with Brett Michaels now. I mean, he's had a lot of things, love it, but that's, you know, has to be a big deal for him. I'm so proud of him. And then you look at, you know, Glenn out in Seattle,
Yes.
you know, has a little, you know, and really what is, I asked him the question, he said, you think you're going to make it? And he says, well, what is really making it anymore, you know? And he's right, it ain't like back in the day where it was like, you know, you had a record executive come see you and they give you, and if you're good, they give you a record deal and all.
It's
you know,
a whole different
with
thing
the
now.
internet now, anybody can put stuff out there.
Yeah.
So, but and then you know, so there are definitely two I look up to. I also look up to my good friend D. Calhoun. He's put out just such a talent writer, storyteller, you know, musician. So the stuff he does, both solo and with his band's Final Grave, that is basically Iron Man with a different guitar player.
I actually have one of Iron Man CDs.
Yeah, South of the Earth or whatever. Yeah. Good stuff. He's a great singer, and when I left Heavyset, I was so happy that they brought him in because it made me feel like they had to go get somebody out of town that's really good to do that shit. So I was
cover you up.
Yeah,
there you go.
Yeah, so I was so happy they got him. But I definitely think, you know, those are like, you know, I love if you've heard Jimmy House when he did. I've always loved his work. I think Fred Sullivan's a great vocalist.
Freddie's,
great guy. Him and Belinda as well. So yeah, but those are all, you know, some of the people I look up to personally. But what the hell was even the question? Oh, well, who had a shot at getting the big time? Here's a good one, and I'm sure there may be a funny story with this one. How do you handle being hit on by drunks? I'm sure every lady probably has a different story for this. And is there one in particular you can think of where
it has happened so many times?
Oh yeah.
And every time it's a whole different thing, because you got one guy literally just stood there and peed his pants and then tried to get all close to me. I'm like, no, dude.
Hey, baby.
I went over to his friends and I was like, dude, get him. Get him. Sometimes you gotta go to security. Sometimes I just go run and hide in the bathroom.
Yeah.
Anything to get away from.
Sometimes I just kind of go to another spot on the floor.
Do you remember the first time it happened to you?
Yeah, I think the first time, some bigger dude, I was dancing to a song and it came up real close and I was like, bye. I just left the floor and I'm like, I'm done.
Has there been one where you're like, well, this guy's all right, you know?
No.
No, you can tell. What?
They're all a bunch of losers. So.
It's always that guy, though. It's always that one guy who is just way too drunk.
Oh, yeah.
And he's slobbering on himself, and you're like, no.
Well, we get it with the guys sometimes being fanboys with you and getting and just up there, hey buddy, you guys are awesome, and you know you're trying to get your shit and leave, right? And you appreciate what they're saying, but you know they're blasted out of their minds, so
they're not going to remember it tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
They're not going to remember.
Well, and that's like I've never been one, and trust me, and you know some people only see this and think Brett, but you know I'm certainly not John Bon Jovi, but hit on all the time. Me, you know. So I've always had the thing: if you're going to like go to a place and you have a girl that's blowing you, she's probably done the same thing to every other guy that's came through all this. So why would you want, you know? So I've never been well, I've always been in a relationship that was outside of that and all. You know, I talk about my wife in the last video. I couldn't have made a better woman, but okay. So that was the drunk question. Yeah, you just get the hell away from them.
Just run, dude. Just run. Go to security and be like, I can't. Just get it.
Listen, we already covered what are you already into in your spare time, and we already heard about your hobbies. But if there's anything else you can think about,
the little mechanic over here that doesn't ever brag herself up.
Mechanic?
Yeah, I fix cars.
Like cars? No way.
Yeah.
How'd you learn that?
My uncle, I would follow him around when I was little, and then I went to the career center, and I learned a lot.
Can you put brakes on? No way. I might be calling you here sometime. Hey, help me out. I am the worst of tools. My dad could fix anything, could build anything, was a woodworker, you know. God love him, worked at the paper mill 44 years. But I am just the worst. If I try to fix something, it just turns to shit. Like, we got a little end table thing that needs built right now, and I'm waiting on Hunter to come because I'm just horrible at it. I'm horrible with tools. So I admire you for that. That's really cool because nobody would look at you and expect that. That is awesome. You have a favorite album or albums?
I like Fall Out Boy's Take This to Your Graves, my favorite album they do.
I mean, I've probably heard a lot of their songs, but I've never like listened though. I'm horrible with knowing when it comes on the radio who does that. Well, that's cool. Do you have one?
I've always loved I can't even name the album. It was an Elvis album, and it had Blue Suede Shoes on it. But I think it was like the greatest hits album or something. But it was Elvis, and I just played that thing to death.
When you were when little, yeah. I think everybody had some Elvis back in the day.
Then I graduated to Metallica and Ozzy. And
mine was I listened to a lot of the Beatles. Well, my brother was a Beatles fan, and believe it or not, I talked about in the last if you watched last video. You remember the Bay City Rollers that popped?
Yes. Oh my goodness.
I was a big fan of them when I was a kid. So it's kind of crazy. Everybody else was in the Kiss. I got in the Kiss later.
I did for a while.
But I was in the more popular stuff when I was younger, and then I found AC/DC and
once you hear the metal, you just
and
can't
it was
stop.
all over. So so that's cool. So that brings to mind the old question: if you were on a desert island, you can only have one album to take with you. Would it be both those albums, or would it be something else newer or not?
I would have to take a CD that's a mix of all different.
A mixed CD. That's a good answer to that.
I can't listen to just one kind forever. It gets old.
And if you were smart, you would record them as MP3s, so you could fit a boatload of them on there. My luck, I'd had that, and the damn thing wouldn't play on the CD player. But that's a good answer to that question.
That is very good.
Actually,
smart.
Get a mix CD in there. I mean, I used to love making mix CDs, mix cassettes, and waiting on the radio to get the song on there and all that. Let that die. I thought of this question, since you go see your bands like crazy all the time. If you were going to make an all-star local band, who would be at each of the positions?
Oh wow, there are so many.
Like, who would be the singer? Who'd be the guitar player? Who'd be the bass player? Who'd be the drummer?
Chelsea from Four Against All would be the vocals. That girl could freaking wail.
Yeah.
Okay. She is good. Very good.
And let's see. I don't know who'd be on bass. Crawford's really good on bass.
Yes.
I might put Crawford in bass.
Hear that, Jimmy?
Well, he is. He's like,
Yeah.
Um,
I taught him the first song he ever played on bass was "Number One Bites Dust."
oh my goodness.
And then he locked himself in a room for like 2 years and came out, and he was awesome.
Who we do on guitar?
I don't know. There's so many good ones.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, come on.
Ah,
Who really shreds? Devo.
he's good. He's good.
Trying to think of who else. There was so hard. Drums. It would be a toss up between Steve because he's insane to watch, and I don't know.
I think it's hard to beat Spire.
Yeah,
He's so good.
He plays so hard.
Mm-hmm.
But then you got Jen Brown. And
Jen's incredible too.
Dan Stevens.
Yeah.
He's another guitarist.
Yeah, he is very good. Very good. I know that's
one big all-star band.
I mean, the typical answer for that would be, I don't really count Dean anymore because Dean's not here all the time.
Yeah, he's already famous.
He's already big time, And I mean, if you're going old
he's
school,
earned it,
you can't forget Mr. Tim Haynes.
Oh my goodness!
But yeah, that's a hard. I don't even know if I could answer that question myself.
There are so many.
I sure as hell wouldn't be in it. But
this area is so ridiculous with talent. There are so many good musicians around here.
So I think I already kind of asked you about your first memory of music. So on scratch that one. What advice do you have for people out there that struggle with mother-daughter relationships?
Definitely be honest with one another.
Mm-hmm.
You can't really have a relationship if you're hiding stuff or if you're lying to one another. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
Be willing to admit even if you're the parent, be willing to admit you messed up. Because kids appreciate that. Because it shows them you're not perfect and they don't have to be. And let them make their own choices. Don't try to make them fit into your little mold. Just let them be who they are.
Yeah, I get asked that question by Hunter, and I'll always say communication.
Yes.
If you keep that line of communication and talk and be honest when like you said when you're doing it, that's the thing to do. Because a lot of people struggle with that.
And embarrass them every chance you get.
We can get you back.
Yes, and you do.
This is true. Yeah. That drives Hunter crazy when I'm embarrassing. And I've done it many times. Okay, let's see. Do you have any advice for bands or venues to make the scene better? Is there anything any of the bands could change that would make it better for you? Could they do something different when they're performing, or?
We do enjoy the crowd participation.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
When you get the crowd involved and get us all into it, and at least pretend you're having fun.
Yeah.
So and I get it. Some days your day was just as stressful as ours was, but take a breath, feed off our energy.
Yeah.
We'll try to make you feel better, and then have fun. Just enjoy what you're doing.
Yeah.
I know.
And if you don't enjoy it, take a break from it.
Trying to get people to, like, on so many of our shows, people just watch us. And we'll get applause in that, but they just watch. Yeah. If we could just get them up front to watch.
Yeah. People get up.
Get
up.
Dance, have fun.
Get up.
Have fun if you're sitting in a chair.
The two dancing girls just told you.
Get up, dance. We'll make room.
You need shirts now. The two
dancing girls.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, it'd be smooth. Is there any songs that you can think of the bands? This is interesting to me because maybe we could put something in there. Is there any songs you'd like to hear bands do that you never hear them do?
No one plays the Scorpions.
We were just talking about playing them. What was it? One of the guys said we knew about Big City Nights, and like two of us said, well, I played it before City Live, so maybe we will before it's over with.
And no one does like Cinderella.
Yeah.
I used to do
very underrated bands.
I used to do Save Me. I also wanted to do Shake Me and Gypsy Road, but
Gypsy Road.
Yeah.
What about you?
Ladies and Gentlemen is always a good song.
Yes.
Who does that?
Saliva.
I think, yeah.
Oh, okay. I know.
Ladies and gentlemen.
I know it's on. That's a great album, man. I know exactly what you mean. Yeah, some Saliva, being like that. So you heard it here, folks. We need some Scorpions, some Saliva. Who was the other one?
Cinderella.
Cinderella. So okay, cool. Da, da, da.
Unless you want to go pop, then it's like In Excess.
You know what we were messing with the other day? We were messing with the safety dance. Has anybody you ever seen anybody do that? I don't know if anybody does that.
would be
There's a metal version of it. And we were talking. Steve don't want to do it though, so tell him to say Steve.
Steve, do it. It'd be so much fun.
But we were actually messing with it. Our guitar player Josh was busting it out.
I would love to hear a metal
Of
version
course,
of that.
Dave loves stuff like that, like anything goofy or different or like that. So maybe we can talk with Steve, the old animal, into doing it. That'd be fun. But what is the worst and best thing you've ever seen done at a show? Be it by something two people on stage did, or a person on stage did, or something crazy someone did, or a fight that was just like the whole brawl, or because when you go to all these things, you see a lot of different stuff like that.
Too much alcohol, not enough brain power.
Yeah, exactly.
Ages ago, a guy named Johnny. He was a guitarist for one of the bands. I can't remember who. And he was just way too wasted, and he literally just fell down in the middle of the set. And then we
It
had
was like a whole tree falling.
He just face plant. And then there was another one of the ones I was working for. Made me so mad. I was roadieing for these people, and the whole band went home except for me and this dude. He passes out on his bass because he's drunk on gin, and I am left to tear down everything my poor little self.
Oh my.
It took me 2 hours, and he's just laying there passed out.
Back when before we hired production, yes, that's a fun thing to have happen. I had that happen many a time
and that
back
was
in the
those
day.
old can lights.
Oh yeah, I had them. You never seen anybody do anything like really massively crazy. Like, I went to see Ozzy once, and a dude kept bashing himself. Ozzy said the craziest person he sees, he was going to bring up on stage. Well, they had one of these poles. It was a Star Lake, and the guy just kept bashing himself into the pole.
Oh wow!
Like Bad Dobby, like.
Oh wow!
We just kept watching him, and blood was coming down. He didn't care. He was in our plant.
That's crazy. I did see a guy. He got up on the speakers one night. These call him Biscuit. He was an old guy, a war vet, and he got up on the speakers one night and stripped down to his underwear. that was interesting.
Yeah,
I'm sure you've probably seen Scotty Mac back in the day.
Goodness, Scotty.
He used to do some crazy stuff.
I saw him swing from a chandelier one night.
The thing about him was he was so smart because he knew controversy created because people would go in and say, "Man, he did this," and then the next show, more people be there to see him do something crazy.
He knew how to get him.
He knew how to work that. It was really cool.
He was always great at working.
He used to come in Walmart in the middle of the night, and we'd have long conversations when I worked there. And,
wow!
We got to know each other pretty good, and it was very sad when I heard about him passing.
Yeah, I know.
We've lost so many good musicians, in the past 10 years or so. But yeah. You think anything goofy?
I know I was watching Anger Box play, and Chris was playing, and his cymbal just fell off. It's just, I've seen mic drops, I've seen tambourine drops, but I've never seen a cymbal drop before.
Yeah, I've seen that one cage he had come apart several times because he's just like a monster back there and just crazy. That's awesome. But there's a million. Did you ever go to the Curve Tavern up in Gourmania years ago?
No, I don't think I've ever been up there.
Oh my God, the stories from up there, but fights every week, and I drank Coors Light back then. I'd look down, there would just be like a sea of it at feet. People buying me drinks, and the girls hardly wore any clothing and just all danced and all. There's Lucas
Hello.
up close and personal for you guys to see him, and there's his butt trying to make his bond. If he wants down, go ahead, buddy. There you go. Oh my, real professional here, guys.
Congratulations.
But yeah, it was a crazy place to go. But I liked playing there. Everybody came to see you, and you had a good time. If you could meet any famous musician, who would it be and why? They can be living, dead.
I'd say Tommy Lee because he's one of my favorite.
No, you like
drummers.
Tommy? That's cool.
He's crazy. I mean, he got in a cage.
I got to
and
hear
went
you
flipping.
play now. You need to come over someday when we're practicing, and we'll jam. That would be great.
Freddie Mercury.
Oh yeah, Freddie's incredible.
Freddie Mercury.
In my opinion, best front man that ever lived. Great lyricist and great vocalist as well. But yeah, mine's Lennon.
Of course.
I was a big Lennon fan. So everything he stood for, peace wise, and just believed in him. And one of my favorite songs is "In My Life" by the Beatles, and of course I like "Imagine" and that too. But yeah, he's mine. Growing up, my brother got me into the Beatles. So
that's cool.
Okay, so we got Tommy Lee, Freddie Mercury, and John Lennon. That'd be an interesting conversation.
Mhm.
That would.
So, is there anything you guys have any opinions on as far as the current state of like the big music industry? And is there anything you like about or dislike? What's being put out or how the big companies are handling things. And I mean, my big gripe is ticket prices for concerts. But the thing about it is that's the only way the bands make any damn money
anymore. Yeah.
And now they're starting to take stuff from their merch sales. So, but is there anything you think could be done different or you'd like to see happen that would be better, like at big shows and stuff like that?
Well, like I said, the ticket prices are just completely outrageous. Yeah. But I mean, with it being the digital, everything's digital now, so they don't make nearly as much as they used to, like on album sales and things. If they would go back to that, that would be great. And go back to real talent instead of auto tune. Can we get some people that can really play an instrument?
Yeah,
that'd be great.
Yeah, it's just like the whole backing track thing that's been controversial here lately. I think if you use that, like, say you got orchestra type parts or something like that in a song, and that plays along with the guys actually doing it live and all that. But I'm definitely against people having vocals, especially the lead part of the song, or like they said about Nikki Sixx wasn't playing his bass. I mean, the guys that are like actually doing the music on the stage should be. I think the backing stuff, if they're going to use it for stuff, it should just be there to enhance.
Yeah,
it shouldn't be somebody else, playing the guitar or whatever.
Yeah, we should just I think we should take it back to where everything's real.
Yeah.
I am so tired of everything being washed over and fake and edited. Just do something real.
I think everything's about what sells, and that's just like we were having a conversation about country music. If you remember it back, when we were growing up, you couldn't find a good-looking country artist.
They were all.
Nowadays,
they're all pretty.
Yeah.
Nowadays, you put a cowboy hat on somebody and that, and throw them in. It's just like making a boy band. Now there are some legit talented people. I'm not saying that, but everybody's so much about creating that image, and that back in the 70s when people didn't know what somebody looked like, you had to go about what they were doing, playing, and all that. Yeah. Which that's what I've always said about myself, because I've struggled with weight my whole life, and I always said if I had the look, things would be a lot different around here.
It's all about
because I have this, and it's gotten a lot better since I've gotten older. But if I had the look, but I try to make myself look as cool as I can.
It's all about image now.
But But yeah, definitely like them Billy Joel ticket prices. Weren't they like a couple $1,000
Yeah,
or
Yeah, they were
something
ridiculous.
crazy like that? You know. Yeah, that's
completely outrageous.
And I'm at my last question, which what are you most looking forward to in the future for you guys? Do you have any plans or anything cool going on, or even a vacation? Something? Is there anything you're looking forward to musically or
Well, we got Booze coming up, so
Yeah,
definitely
Booze
looking
and
forward to
Brews.
that.
Booze and Brews?
We're going to be going to the Pennsylvania Renaissance Fair.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
And
cool.
we're going out to medieval times. It's
Are
on
you just dressing up?
Yes. Of course. If you're going to go big.
Exactly.
I've done some cosplay, so it's the same difference.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's the same
So,
thing. I
yeah.
would totally go to Comic-Con if I could get away
Oh
with it.
yeah.
We went to the Steel City one for years, but it's just gotten so big that you're in there, and I'm in a chair now, and just trying to get through it. So we just in there.
And my brother goes to that. He said it's packed every
Yeah.
single time.
Yeah,
It's so much.
It's something else. But how about locally? Any music? We got Booze and Brews. What else we got? I'm trying to think what else is coming up. Of course, we'll have Halloween,
Yeah, there'll be
Yeah.
a ton of shows for that.
And
That's
then-
going to be a flip a coin.
and
Yeah.
then of course New Year's this year. We still are waiting to hear a couple of different things we've been negotiating on for New Year's. So,
Yeah, New Year's is a rough one because everybody plays everywhere. And we're like, okay, so I don't want to bounce bars because it's New Year's and it's
and the thing about this, you can't afford it either
No,
Yeah.
I know it's crazy.
to go to like 5 different places or whatever.
No.
But yeah, there'll be a lot of cool stuff coming up. Definitely looking forward to anytime I see you guys there. And like I said, it always makes my night because I know there's going to be a couple people up that are going to be getting into what we're doing, and you can actually physically see them getting in. Yeah, people in their seats clap and all that, but when you got somebody physically in front of you, and it just makes you want to do that much more better.
I just figure if I get up and dance and, the other people see and say, well, she's up and dancing.
Yeah.
I can get up and dance. I won't
Yeah.
look stupid because you can't look any dumber than I do sometimes. So I figure if I can be a bridge between the band and the rest of the crowd and get everything flowing.
Yeah.
Like a bridge over troubled water.
I think that'd be great.
Oh, you guys got anything to add or anything you want to say to everybody before we stop?
Get up and dance. Come out.
Yes.
Get
Support
up and
these
dance.
guys.
Yes.
Get up and dance.
They have day jobs too. They take their time out to entertain us, entertain them back.
Yes.
Yeah.
Peace and love.
Get to start crying due to Tammy Faye Baker. These guys need your money. I used to like it. They would be on there doing all that, and her makeup be going all right. And then the next week, they got all the money come in. And the next week, we're here from our telecast in Hawaii this week. Oh, no,
That happened.
How did that happen? Yeah,
The
exactly.
tears. That's how that happened.
Old Tammy's tears. Well, I thank you guys so much for coming and doing this. I know it probably weirded you out a little bit at first,
No.
but and that's why I was like, I was telling her, "What, my wife's going to be here," I didn't want to think you were going to end up in my refrigerator or something.
Story
like
of the week: the two dancing girls end up in Brent Downey's refrigerator.
Yeah, just opening your heads are there. All I'd open the door, your heads would be going like this. So
Turn on the tunes; they'll still be dancing.
So, and if you don't have to share this if you don't want, but if people want to find you guys on social media, where do they find you?
Facebook.
Facebook. That's the only thing I have is
Mhm.
Facebook.
And it's just under you guys' names.
Yep,
on
just under our
Facebook?
regular names.
And how about, do you got Instagram or anything?
Nope.
No Instagram. No, not even TikTok.
Nope.
Really?
TikTok tells people to eat Tide Pods,
Yeah.
so I'm not going there.
Yeah. It's a good flipper thing to just sit there and be
Yeah.
like, but
Find some funny
like a
stuff on
zombie,
there.
but there's a lot of trash on there. Okay. So, but thank you guys so much for everything you do. And I really, really mean this with all I am. Everything you do coming out and supporting all the White Has Me Sweating, all the local artists. You don't even know. And I'm sure mostly everybody else when they see you guys are like me. It's like, oh, cool, the two dancing girls are here. It's going to be a good night. At least somebody's going to be up. But yeah, just thank you guys for on behalf of the whole Western Maryland music community. Thank you
Oh,
guys.
we are glad to do
You're
it.
welcome.
And
I mean, live bands is like home to me. It
Yeah.
just feels like home. So
and I appreciate you guys doing this. I thought it would be fun. I thought it would be different
It has been fun.
to have somebody else, here that's, you're not a musician, but you are part of the music community.
Mhm.
So
it's been fun. It was really
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah.
and
I enjoyed
I
it.
hope you guys, I hope it made you feel good about who you are, because I think you guys are pretty awesome.
It's nice to know that we're actually having a positive impact.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad to know that.
Yep.
Because I thought we were just dancing, being weird. So
That's nothing wrong with dancing and being weird. I am plenty weird.
As long as it helps somebody along
Yeah.
the way.
But yeah, thank you guys. So everybody, thanks for watching. If you made it this far, put in the comments the 2 dancing girls rule. That way I know you made it all the way to the end. Please subscribe to the channel. Like and share the video. And thanks for watching. As I tell everybody at the end of every video, please do one act of kindness this week and try to make a difference in someone's life. You never know, when you do one thing, one small thing might be the thing that changes the way somebody's day or situation or whatever they're going through, and help them turn that around. So I'll tell everybody, try to do one thing this week, make a difference in somebody's life, even if it's holding the door or whatever, So do that. So for Rockers, Freaks, and Geeks, Brett, thank Downey, the 2 dancing girls, Danelle Noel, thank you guys for coming. And I'll see you guys on the next one. And maybe you guys could hit stop. Oh!